Guys, here we go again. Welcome back to the channel. So this week I took on the Audio Essentials course. Because what's a game without sound, right? Let's be honest, it's not a great start if your player can't hear a single thing. So here's what I learned, what I broke, and what we may question my life choices. Let's dive in. So the first task was to load up Unity's pre-built kitchen scene, and I've got to say, it's given low poly transition vibes. I started poking around the hierarchy and found the main camera, and made sure our audio listening is all set. And then I dragged the pot from the prefab menu, popped around with the stove. I gave the pot an audio source and picked the bubbler's sound, and I had to loop it to make sure the sound kept going. Voila! Instant immersion, boiling water, check. So when I pressed play here, the sound was actually the same no matter where I was in the scene. Sounded like I had my head in the pot. So I did some digging and found out the issue was the spatial blend was set to 2D rather than 3D. So that was the next task, correcting that issue. So I tweaked the spatial blend and dragged it all the way up to full 3D, and boom. Now the sound gets louder when I'm up close and fades out when I wander off like a lost NPC. Much better. But why stop there? I added some background music by creating a fresh, empty object, slapped an audio source on it, picked a chill track, and made sure to loop it and dial the volume down. We're not trying to start a rave in the kitchen. And now we've got bubbling sound and a soundtrack. Gordon Ramsay would be proud. And now the kitchen was sounding tasty, but the outside, it was dead, no sound whatsoever, not on my watch. So I threw together a new audio source and put it outside the window, named it Bird 1. Because you know, naming things is half the fun. Clearly, I'm very good at naming things. So I gave Bird 1 a nice chirping sound, but unchecked play on awake. If play on awake was left, then it would keep looping and repeating, and no one wants a bird that never shuts up. Then I dropped in a handy little pre-made script to make our feathered friend chirp at random intervals. Authentic nature vibes. Of course, one bird does not a forest make, so I duplicated the little guy a few times, scattered them around, each with their own chirping personality. And again, more authentic naming, Bird 2 and Bird 3. And just like that, bubbling stew, background tunes, and birds flapping off in the stereo. Atmosphere upgraded. I mean, it's practically a nature documentary now. Gordon Ramsay meets planet Earth. If I could just get one other to steal a chip from the kitchen, we'd have ourselves a BAFTA. Next up, easy mode. Basically, I had to make the fridge hum. So I dropped an audio source onto the fridge, picked up a nice subtle buzzing sound, looped it, and cranked the spatial blend all the way to 3D. Gave it a quick test, and yep, the cool box now hums like a champ. Medium mode turned things up a little bit. I had to go hunting for my own background music. So if I went to Unity Asset Store, and I found something suitably moody and dramatic. Not really, something quite uplifting. After downloading, I dropped it into the package manager, imported it into the project, and swapped it in place of the old track. Hit play, and boom, new soundtrack vibes unlocked. And then came the hard mode. It was time to mess with reverb zones. Reverb basically makes sound bounce around like it's in a real room. So I dropped a reverb component smack in the center of the kitchen and started switching between presets like bathroom and concert hall. And I ran in and out of the zones like a sound testing maniac. And yes, I may have spent way too long echoing like I was on stage. Finally, it was quiz time. I got 2 out of 3 because, surprise, surprise, I didn't read question 1 properly. Classic. At least I passed. Barely respawned through that one. And that wraps up Devlog 3, guys. If you made it this far, thanks. You're officially part of the chaos. Hit that like, maybe subscribe if you're feeling brave, and I'll catch you in the next one. Still learning, still respawning.